Welcome to this episode of Toronto Blue Jays Update. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement keeps this channel going strong. The Bichette situation has really caught my attention lately. What's fascinating is how willing he is to take that one-year opt-out, especially with the lockout looming on December 1st. We've seen a handful of players doing similar things. Guys like JAYS and Michael King have those one-year opt-outs in their 3-year deals. The interesting part is that despite the real possibility of games being canceled in 2027, Bichette is confident enough to potentially go back into free agency. He'll still be young, the same age Kyle Tucker was this offseason, and that youth factor is incredibly valuable in today's market. Remember what happened before the last lockout? Teams went absolutely crazy with dropping $1.4 billion in a single day trying to lock players down before everything shut down. That precedent suggests guys like Bo shouldn't have much trouble finding deals, even with uncertainty ahead. A GM mentioned to me recently how difficult it's become to value players with 2 years of control left because nobody knows what 2027 will look like. Are teams overpaying in prospects when they might only get one guaranteed year? The consensus around the league right now is that while the lockout is definitely happening, there's too much positive momentum to waste it. Record revenues, an incredible World Series, and all the rule changes that have made the game more exciting, it would be pretty foolish to throw that away by missing significant time in 2027. The game is in too good a place right now. Speaking of spending, there's speculation about whether we'll see another frenzy before December 1st. Last time, teams weren't trying to manipulate players or co-opt them for negotiations. They simply wanted to get deals done before the buzzer. This time around might be different, though. Teams could be more hesitant knowing a potential salary cap might be coming. But the same urgency will likely push deals through regardless. The Bellinger situation is heating up too. When you hear expected to sign soon, that typically means within a week in baseball terms. Spring training is approaching faster than people realize, and both Bellinger and the interested teams want resolution. The Yankees have reportedly offered 5 years, $160 million with 2 opt-outs, and a big signing bonus, no deferrals. That's a solid offer, but the question is, who else is involved? The Mets could absolutely jump in after missing Tucker. Bellinger might actually be a better fit for them anyway because of his defensive versatility. And here's something interesting. The Blue Jays offered Tucker 10 years, $350 million. With both Bichette and Springer coming off the books at the end of this season, why wouldn't they be pursuing Bellinger? Teams don't publicly discuss free agents because the CBA prohibits it, but there's usually more happening behind the scenes than gets reported. Then there's Zack Gallen, who an executive described as the least attractive free agent among those who rejected qualifying offers. That's not about his talent, it's about the draft pick compensation hurting his market. Some players get crushed by the qualifying offer system, while others aren't affected at all. Gallen might end up following the Scott Boras playbook, taking a shorter deal to re-enter the market without a draft pick attached, similar to what Blake Snell, Matt Chapman, and Alex Bregman have done recently. His down year for 4 months before finishing strong probably isn't helping either. The qualifying offer system is going to be a major negotiating point in the next CBA. Teams have all the leverage right now with draft pick compensation, and players are getting tired of it affecting their markets. On the pitching front, Hunter Green's name keeps coming up in trade rumors, but I'm skeptical the Reds would actually move him. They view their starting rotation as their biggest strength. Same logic applies to the Tigers with Tarik Skubal or the Brewers with Freddie Peralta. Teams say they'll do anything that improves them short and long term, but finding a package that accomplishes both for a young, controllable starter like Green is nearly impossible. If they did move him, they need to backfill, and quality free agent starters are dwindling fast. The Arenado trade revealed some interesting details. 2 other teams were in serious pursuit, the Athletics and the Padres. Sacramento was actually going to take on more money than Arizona ultimately did, and they had a deal in place with the Cardinals. But Arenado preferred they continue negotiating with other teams. The Padres wanted him at first base, which would have been a position change, but for a 10-time Gold Glove winner, that transition shouldn't be difficult. San Diego's thinking was to have St. Louis eat most of the contract so they could allocate resources toward an $8 to $12 million AAV starting pitcher. Justin Verlander remains available and confident he'll find the right situation. He's waiting for the proper offer, knowing that if he's patient until spring training, someone will inevitably need pitching help. Verlander is from Virginia, knows their GM Mike Elias from Houston, and Baltimore is still looking for rotation help. The Orioles make sense as a potential landing spot. He proved in the second half with San Francisco that he can still pitch at an above-average major league level. Other teams like the Giants and Mets are also possibilities, though New York is probably aiming higher. Finally, the Pirates are making moves, currently sitting about $8 million above last season's payroll after acquiring Brandon Lowe and signing Ryan O'Hearn. They're expected to add at least one more bat, potentially targeting third base. If they can land another decent offensive player, they could legitimately be viewed as wild-card contenders. There are still plenty of hitters available on the market, and Pittsburgh has shown they're willing to spend more than in previous years, even if incrementally. Whether they follow through completely remains to be seen, but the early signals are encouraging for their fans. That's all for today's update. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. What moves do you want to see the Blue Jays make? Let me know below.